Hi, this is Brad Linder with Liliputing, and this is an Android 4.0 mini PC. It's a little $74 computer that runs Google Android, and right now it's connected to a power supply, a wireless keyboard and mouse through a USB port here, and a 1080p monitor using an HDMI output. This particular monitor doesn't have any speakers built in, so since there's no speaker jack on the little PC, you're going to maybe want to use this with a TV, and it really does make sort of a good online video player if that's something you're looking for. I've been playing with it for just a little while now, and one of the things that I wanted to show you was, well, a couple of the things I wanted to show you were some of the applications. I was pleasantly surprised to see out of the box it came with the Android Market, which automatically updated pretty quickly to the Google Play Store. And it had some other apps preloaded as well, including Angry Birds Space and Skype, as well as some online video from the Chinese market, including PPS, PPTV, and Youku. But once I logged in with my Google ID, I was able to install Netflix, the YouTube video site works, and so forth. So let's take a quick look at online video here. And here we've got some high-definition video playing from YouTube. And you can see I've got shaky cam there going just about as much as I do right now. Plays pretty well in full screen. Netflix works as well. It takes a little while to buffer the videos sometimes, but they do play reasonably well. It actually looks a little bit better on the screen than it does right here because of sort of a brightly lit room here. Some other applications, I went ahead and installed one of my favorite Android games, Robo Defense. Plays quite smoothly. Now, it's a little bit tricky to use some of these applications that are designed for touchscreen when you're using a keyboard and mouse. But they do work, and some games are better than others. So games like tower defense type games that are mostly just sort of drag and drop, those work pretty well. Anything that requires multi-touch, you're going to have problems with, clearly. So you can see that we are running Google Android 4.0. We can dismiss applications from the recently used list, or we can switch to applications. So I installed the Kindle application just for kicks. This one's sort of a weird one because it works, but I'm not sure that I would really want to spend a lot of time reading ebooks on a screen like this. Pocket Informant Calendar. There's a built-in file manager. And the default me to something like this little $74 PC might do. It's not as fast as most Windows computers these days. It's not as fast even as most Android tablets these days. But the all-winner A10 processor is, powerful enough to handle a lot of these tasks. I have a feeling that if and when I manage to get Ubuntu or a different Linux distribution installed, some things might load even more slowly. Once applications are up and running, in Android at least, they seem to go pretty quickly. But Android is really designed for a sort of stripped-down system, a very basic experience, and when you have a more full-featured operating system, there's a chance that things could be a little bit slower, but I won't know for certain until I try. Another thing that I noticed here is that this guy's been plugged in for maybe about a half hour, and it's very warm. I don't know that it's necessarily going to overheat, but it's such a small device that that it does generate a fair amount of heat in this little casing. So, much more so than you would expect from, say, a smartphone or a tablet. But it's not really meant to be held, so I'm not sure that that's necessarily going to be a huge problem, but I'm a little bit worried that, if you were going to use it for hours and hours on end, there's a slight chance that it could cause some heat issues. So, I'm not entirely convinced yet that it's a perfect replacement for other types of set-top boxes. Plug into the back of your TV and use as if it were a Roku or a Boxy box or something like that. But my only real concern, I think, is the fact that it generates a lot of heat, and so for extended periods of time, if you use it, it could cause some problems. And of course, the user interface isn't necessarily as simple as you would get from all sorts of devices. But there's lots of Android applications, such as Plex, that might be able to sort of turn it into a media center if that's what you're looking for. So I think there's, especially because of the low price, it's a very interesting device that might have some interesting use cases. So I'll be curious to know what kind of things you would like to see me try, and what sort of things you might want to do with a $74 little computer running Google Android that has connections for an HD TV or a monitor, and USB ports for, right now I've got a keyboard and mouse plugged in, but you should theoretically be able to plug in video game controllers as well, because there's support for that built into Android 4.0. So this is Brad Linder, and a look at the Android 4.0 mini PC running a couple of Android applications. You can find out more at liliputing.com.